Having a mentor or several mentors is a great way to maximise your potential in getting ongoing support, advice and feedback so you can perform to the best of your abilities and maximise your opportunities. Mentoring is perhaps one of the least used development tools in most organisations in helping people to manage their careers. But it's full of great opportunities. It's a total no-brainer and a very cost-effective exercise for businesses to take on, and if you're doing this off your own back, for you to take on. Dare I say it, there's some opportunities here for some great free learning. So what is a mentor? Well, a mentor is someone who has lots of knowledge and experience in perhaps your working environment, but it can cover all aspects of life and different areas, who can guide and support and direct you to maximise your potential. And they'll provide advice and feedback, sometimes harsh, sometimes to the point, but hopefully, always very supportive. Now, traditionally, mentors are normally more mature and experienced people, but it doesn't have to be the case. In another video, I'll talk to you about reverse mentoring, which is a great concept and one that I take a lot of advantage of. But as I said, I'll talk to you about that in another video. So that is mentoring, receiving great advice, support and guidance in your working career to maximise your potential and opportunities. So what are the benefits? Well, in a nutshell, loads of learning opportunities, great opportunities to learn from people's experiences. Hopefully you learn from your experiences, but you can also learn from other people's experiences. This is a real great win-win situation. They can be a great sounding board for your thoughts and ideas and aspirations. You can discuss your future, gain guidance, gain direction, advice and support. And they'll always have some great answers to your brilliant questions, but you have to invest in it. In other words, you've got to invest your time. Don't expect them, i.e. your mentors, to organise things. You've got to organise it. You've got to show up on time. You've got to tell them what you want to talk about. Don't just sit there and go, weather's good today. You've got to invest in this and sit down and think, what do I want to discuss? What do I want to get guidance on? Don't wait to be spoon-fed. So who to ask? Well, there's two routes here. You may go down a formal route in an organisation or an informal route where perhaps you just ask someone yourself. A formal route is perhaps an organisation that will actually pair you up, perhaps through the HR department, for you to meet and sit and discuss, say, 3 or 4 times a year with somebody of more experience in the organisation. And that's what we call a formal process. An informal one, well, you perhaps like to go and choose some people. You don't actually have to call it mentoring. Will you be my mentor? But you might like to. Choose someone you admire. Somebody you find really interesting, somebody who inspires you. I'm doing this all the time, asking people. I just don't say to them, will you be my mentor? So I like to go and pick their brains. Someone you respect. I think it's also good to try and pick people that see things differently to you, which is always a good idea to get a different perspective. Perhaps someone who's been on a very interesting career journey, done lots of things, been different places, had to make lots of decisions. Yes. Think of all those learning experiences that you can tap into that they've had on your behalf. 99% of the time, people will be quite proud and honoured that you've actually asked them. But as I said, you've got to invest your time and energy in this to make it work. So when you do meet up, have some great questions to ask. Don't talk about the weather. Don't talk about people in the business. Go into it and say, look, these are the areas I want to discuss. Perhaps you may like to start with, why did you choose your career this way? How did you get into this particular job position that you've got? And sometimes people's stories are absolutely fascinating. If you went back, what would you do differently in time? That's always a good one. What's the best advice you ever received? Did you take it on board then, or did you learn from your experience at a later stage? How do you see the future of the business or the market? New technologies, job roles, how the business is structured. If you don't ask these questions, you won't get any answers. And what would you do if you were me now? That's that good question. So, what advice would you give me? What have been your biggest challenges and proudest moments in your career? What have been your key learning points over your career? What can you look back and feel most proudest of? Have some great questions. Perhaps have some specific technical questions. But have some great questions. Go prepared and know what you want to talk about. Perhaps you've read something and you'd like their opinion, knowing that they've read it or seen it or watched it. So yeah, have some great questions to ask to generate the conversation. And as I keep saying all the way through this, be fully committed. Prepare those questions, be flexible in meeting up. Don't message them back and say, no, I'm busy that day. It's for your benefits. Yeah. If someone said that to me, I'll go, well, yeah, I'm not changing it. Be on time. Never, ever, ever think about cancelling it. Oh, I've got a day off that day. No, you've got to be fully committed. Always reply to their messages and always be enthusiastic and keen to learn. Please listen, ask great questions and listen some more and make some notes. Show that you're interested and you value their opinion and their time. And always thank them. Really, really important. And any successes you have, I did this recently with somebody. I asked their advice, it worked out, I did what they said, and I messaged them to say, thank you very much for spending the time with me, giving me that advice. It's gone wonderfully well. I'd just like to say thank you. Or perhaps, yeah, have I've done, just send them a little something. Always tell them what you've gained from the conversations and how you've benefited from meeting them. This is really important because, yeah, you're sort of stroking their ego a little bit. You're making them feel good about themselves. And if you don't show that you appreciate it and you've benefited from it, they're just going to think, why should I bother spending my time if you're not going to put into anything that we discuss into action? So at the end of meetings, always make sure you have those clear actions of what you're going to do and email them and just say, look, thanks for your time. This is what I'm going to do. And then follow up either at the next session or if it's the end of the sessions, even if you've finished all your mentoring conversations with them, always, as I said, keep them updated and thank them. Go and find a mentor. All those great opportunities, and as time goes on you may like to offer your services as a mentor. And yeah, I've got some more videos on how to become a mentor and on reverse mentoring, so please catch up on those as well.